also a hysterical person, and I want to share with you just two quick stories because you'll get a gist of his personality, because he was pretty magical as a grandfather. But he was very serious and very stern, and he didn't like it when I didn't untie my shoelaces before I took my shoes off. That was a big deal. It was amazing. But he got a dog when he was 86, 10 years ago, when my grandmother passed away. And he wanted a Weimaraner, because he'd had Weimaraners back in the day. And we were on tour with a band, and I brought those guys over to my grandfather's house to have coffee and visit with him a minute as we were passing through. And my guitar player at the time said real politely, "Well, Mr. Charlie, is there any reason you like a Weimaraner?" And he said, "Well, yeah, because they're slick like a mole." Which everyone was terribly confused by, but I knew he was just being hysterical. So he gets a Weimaraner, but it was too much dog for him really at his age, because he had a full garden, but he had built this crazy world of 2x4s where he could move himself along to work his garden and pull himself down and pull himself up. I mean, he worked in that garden until only maybe 5 years ago. Forever, he had this huge garden. So he ended up getting a Jack Russell Terrier. And I was talking to him on the phone. He had his wits up until just 2 weeks ago. Really clever, super smart man, and funny. And I had said, "Well, I heard you got a new dog, Paul. What kind of dog did you get?" And he said, "Jack Russell Terrier." And I said, "Well, what'd you name him?" And he said, "Well, I named him Bill Clinton." And I said, "Paul, why did you name this dog Bill Clinton?" And he said, "Well, because he's real smart, but he's a dog." And then the last story I'll tell you about him. I was visiting him, and this is right before they moved him to the nursing home, just a few years ago. Were you there? You weren't there with the hat story? Oh. So my grandfather always wore amazing hats. He had a bunch of Stetsons, a lot of beautiful hats. And he's from East Texas, kind of a Texas-Louisiana border town, East Texas. Always sharp dresser. And I was wearing a hat that actually had belonged to my great Uncle Ray, his brother. And he was complimenting the hat. And I said, "Well, this was great Uncle Ray's hat, and my dad gave it to me." And he said, "I got a hat I want you to see. Go to the back guest room bedroom, up in the closet, there's a white hat. I want you to go bring me that hat. Go bring that hat up here." So I went and got it, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's this beautiful white Stetson hat, so pretty. And I bring it, and I was like, "Oh, this hat is so beautiful." And he said, "Well, it is a pretty hat," and told me a little story about where he got it. And he's like, "Well, now do you know where you got that hat?" And I said, "From you." And he said, "From the closet, go put it back."